Was tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. I'm hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left.
Born on an island in the heavens. The blood of my ancestors flows inside me. My duty is to save the flower from evil deterioration. Yeah.
I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself with them evil spirits that's in you.
Streaking lights, loud sounds, and instincts are the elements that keep me going. I am fighting my own mission. Nothing's gonna stand in my way, no, no.
I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself with them evil spirits that's in you.
Won't be frightened, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. It's this power to wipe out the havoc and anarchy. This is my planet, gonna fight for my destiny.
Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. I'm hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left.
I have no such things as weak spots. Don't approve of him, but gotta trust him. This alliance has a purpose. This partnership is only temporary. Yeah.
I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself of evil spirits that got in you.
Won't be fighting, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. Freedom will be waiting when serenity is restored. This is my planet, I shall not surrender. I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. I get this power to wipe out the havoc and anarchy. This is my planet, gonna fight. I won't be frightened, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. Freedom will be waiting when serenity is restored. This is my planet, I shall not surrender. Yeah, shall not surrender, no. Yeah, woo.
The new porcupine on the block with the buff chest. Out the wilderness with the ruggedness. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles. The blow thrower, independent flower, magical emerald holder. Give you the coldest shoulder. My spike goes through boulders. That's why I stay alone. I was born by myself. I don't need a posse, I get it on by myself. Adversaries get shelved. Right on.
He's got the dope sounds bumping and a stereo. It's fast, putting on a show. Don't wanna get yourself together, there's no time to rest. And if you put the time in, he'll put you to the test. He's like a running man in his world, war is less. And if you wanna test him, best bring your best. Don't make me spell it out, bring your best.
In this world where life is strong, in this world life's an open book. In this world where compromise does not exist. In his world of rules, every step meets the rest. In this world where one is all. In this world never fear the fall. In this world where compromise does not exist. His world of rules, every step meets the rest.
Running it back again, well, what'd you expect? Coming out to win 10 out of 10. Got a real rough pass. Myself, his liberty and straps on his shoes. Cause he's the best there ever was, haven't you heard the news? Intergalactic continental champ, running things. Hyperactive, instrumental in pulling strings. He is the one who understands when the tides will swing. So he's breaking down doors, never far away. Come on and psych yourself up, cause it's time to play. Bounce to the beats and the rhymes, cause they're here to stay. The one and only marathon man, living today. Moving up, coming fast, and they'll blow you away. Because the pressures of this world, they can take their toll. And it's tough to get away when they take a hold. The only way to break free is to break the mold. You can't stop now, rock and load. Don't stop now, come on, rock and roll.
In this world,
Gotta make your own
where
way.
life is strong. In this world,
Why does he say, can you play?
life's an open book. In this world,
Here to
where
stay.
compromise does not exist. His world of rules, every step meets the rest. In this world,
Gotta make your own
where
way.
one is all. In this world,
Why does he say, can you play?
never fear the fall. In this world,
Here to
where
stay.
compromise does not exist. His world of rules, every step meets the rest.
Like the fuse on his rocket and he's ready to go. Cause now the countdown has started and it's ready to blow. Intergalactic continental champ, running things. Hyperactive, instrumental in pulling strings. The only way to break free is to break the mold. You can't stop now, rock and roll. I said you can't stop now, rock and roll. Don't stop now, come on and rock and roll.
better.